Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. A string of forgotten symbols flickers across a screen, the silent voice of a lost civilization. For centuries, these characters have been locked away, their meanings lost to time. But now, in an incredible fusion of ancient history and artificial intelligence, we are beginning to coax these lost languages from their slumber. This isn't science fiction. It's the new frontier of archaeology, where algorithms are becoming the Rosetta Stones of the 21st century. Today, we're unlocking ancient secrets to see how AI is learning to read the languages that time forgot. The quest to decipher lost languages is a saga of human ingenuity. From Mesopotamia to the Indus Valley, our ancestors left a legacy of written words. But when civilizations collapsed, their languages often faded with them, leaving us with enigmatic inscriptions on clay, stone, and papyrus. Cracking these codes offers a direct line to the thoughts, beliefs, and daily lives of people who lived millennia ago. Before we had silicon brains, this task fell to brilliant and often obsessed individuals. Their stories are as compelling as the texts they studied. Perhaps the most famous is the story of the Rosetta Stone. Discovered in 1799 by a French soldier, this slab of stone was a bombshell. It was inscribed with the same decree in three scripts: Ancient Greek, which was readable; Demotic, a cursive form of Egyptian; and the mysterious hieroglyphics. The Greek provided the key. The man who turned that key was Jean-François Champollion, a French scholar with a prodigious talent for languages. From a young age, he was obsessed with Egypt. At the time, most scholars believed hieroglyphs were purely symbolic, representing ideas, not sounds. Champollion suspected they were a complex mix of both. His breakthrough came from studying the cartouches, oval shapes that enclose the names of royalty. By comparing the Greek names of rulers like Ptolemy and Cleopatra with the hieroglyphs in their corresponding cartouches on the Rosetta Stone and other artifacts, he began to identify the phonetic values of certain signs. He slowly pieced it together, realizing some hieroglyphs were alphabetic, some were syllabic, and others were determinatives that clarified a word's meaning. In 1822, Champollion announced his discovery. A civilization that had been silent for over 400 years began to speak again. His work laid the foundation for all of Egyptology, allowing us to read everything from the grand pronouncements of pharaohs to the humble letters of everyday people. Decades later, another script tantalized scholars, Linear B. Unearthed in the early 1900s by archaeologist Sir Arthur Evans on Crete, these clay tablets were filled with a script unlike any other. Evans believed he had found the language of the brilliant Minoan civilization, which predated the classical Greeks. He was convinced the language was not Greek, and zealously guarded the tablets from other researchers. The mystery captured the imagination of a young British architect named Michael Ventris. As a schoolboy, he heard Evans lecture and became obsessed. Though an architect by trade, Ventris dedicated his spare time to cracking the code. He was a brilliant cryptographer with an extraordinary linguistic intuition. His approach was methodical. He analyzed the frequency and position of the 90 or so signs in the script, deducing it was likely a syllabary, where each sign represents a consonant-vowel pair. He painstakingly created grids of signs that he believed shared the same consonant or vowel, a technique pioneered by the American classicist Alice Kober. For a long time, Ventris, like Evans, believed the language was related to Etruscan. But in a moment of inspired guesswork, he decided to test a wild hypothesis. What if the language was, in fact, an archaic form of Greek? He applied his grid to names of places he suspected might be on the tablets, like Knossos. Suddenly, the phonetic values he had assigned began to produce recognizable Greek words. In a 1952 BBC radio broadcast, Ventris announced his astonishing conclusion. Linear B was an early form of Greek, pushing back the history of the written Greek language by hundreds of years. The academic world was shocked, but the decipherment was soon confirmed. A new tablet found at Pylos on the Greek mainland was read using Ventris system. It detailed various vessels, including some with 4 ears, 3 ears, and no ears. Descriptions that perfectly matched the drawings on the tablet and made perfect sense in archaic Greek. Ventris's work revolutionized our understanding of the Mycenaean civilization, revealing a world of bureaucratic record-keeping, trade, and religion. These stories highlight the incredible power of the human mind, but they also underscore the importance of having a key, like the Rosetta Stone's bilingual text or Ventris' educated guess. But what happens when no such key exists? This is where our story takes a dramatic turn, and the age of artificial intelligence begins. For much of the 20th century, the methods of decipherment remained the same. But with the rise of AI, particularly machine learning, the field is undergoing a profound transformation. AI brings an ability to process vast amounts of data and identify patterns that are simply invisible to the human eye. It can perform complex statistical analyses in a fraction of a second, opening up new avenues for deciphering scripts that have no Rosetta Stone. So how does it work? At its core, AI-powered decipherment is based on principles from historical linguistics. We've long known that languages evolve in predictable ways. Sounds are more likely to shift to similar sounds, like a P to a B, than to drastically different ones, like a P to a K. And related languages often share similarities in vocabulary and grammar. AI models can be trained on these principles. By analyzing huge datasets of known languages, they learn the rules of language evolution. Then, they apply those rules to an undeciphered script. Researchers at MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, or CSAIL, and at Google have developed models that can translate lost languages by recognizing these deep linguistic patterns. One key technique is known as language embeddings. Essentially, the AI model maps the sounds of a language into a multi-dimensional space where the distance between 2 points represents the difference in their pronunciation. This allows the model to capture the subtle patterns of language change and map the words of an unknown language to their counterparts in a known, related language. To prove this works, researchers tested the technology on languages that we've already decoded. One example is Ugaritic, an ancient Semitic language discovered in Syria in the 1920s. It's related to Hebrew and was deciphered fairly quickly by human experts. When researchers set an AI on the task, it redeciphered Ugaritic with a high degree of accuracy. Similarly, AI models have been successfully applied to Linear B. One model correctly translated over 67% of cognates with ancient Greek. While not perfect, it's a stunning achievement, especially considering the decades of human effort it took the first time. These redecipherments are a crucial proof of concept. They show that I can indeed unlock ancient scripts when a related language is known. But the true power of AI lies in its potential to tackle languages that have resisted all human efforts. In a major development, researchers at MIT's CSAIL created a system that can not only decipher a lost language, but also determine its relationship to other languages without any prior knowledge. The system is based on the idea that if 2 languages are related, the same patterns of sound substitution should appear over and over again. By searching for these recurring patterns, the AI can identify related words and build a model of the relationship between the 2 languages. This is a huge step forward, as finding a related language is often the biggest hurdle. To test their system, the researchers turned to the Iberian language, an ancient script from the Iberian Peninsula. For years, linguists have debated its origins. The AI model analyzed the Iberian script and concluded that while it shared some similarities with Basque and Latin, the differences were too great for it to be a direct relative. This finding corroborates recent scholarship and shows AI's ability to provide valuable, independent insights into linguistic relationships. The age of the digital Rosetta Stone has truly begun. Armed with these powerful new algorithms, researchers are now turning their attention to the holy grails of undeciphered scripts, the linguistic Everests that could rewrite entire chapters of human history. One of the most tantalizing mysteries is the script of the Indus Valley civilization. This was one of the world's oldest urban societies, flourishing some 4,000 years ago in what is now Pakistan and India. We've found thousands of short inscriptions on seals and pottery, but the script, with its 400 unique signs, remains a complete enigma. The inscriptions are extremely short, offering very little context, and we don't even know what language family it belongs to. But unlocking it would give a voice to a civilization known to us only through its silent cities and artifacts. AI is now being brought to bear on this puzzle. Researchers are using machine learning to analyze the patterns within the Indus symbols. Computer scientist Rajesh Rao and his colleagues have made progress in identifying structured sequences, suggesting it is a true language, not just random symbols. However, the fundamental challenge remains: what do the patterns mean? Without a known related language to compare it to, even AI struggles to make the final leap from pattern recognition to translation. Another great challenge is Linear A. Before the Mycenaeans and their Linear B script, the island of Crete was home to the Minoans, a sophisticated culture that left behind this undeciphered script. Linear A is clearly the predecessor to Linear B, and they share many symbols. This means we can read many of the signs in Linear A by using the phonetic values from Linear B. But this only adds to the frustration. We can pronounce the words, but we have no idea what they mean. It's like having a book written in a familiar alphabet, but in a language you've never heard before. Here, AI's strategy is a comparative one. By meticulously comparing the two scripts, algorithms can isolate the shared symbols and analyze the structural differences in how they are used. This helps linguists filter out the known parts of the writing system to focus on the unknown core of the Minoan language. Full decipherment remains elusive, but AI is providing a powerful tool for sifting through the data and generating new hypotheses. And then there's the most bizarre text of all, the Voynich manuscript. This 15th century book is filled with strange illustrations of unknown plants, astronomical diagrams, and bathing figures. Its 240 pages are written in an elegant, flowing script that has no known precedent. For a century, it has baffled everyone. Is it a lost language, a complex cipher, or just an elaborate hoax? The Voynich has become a playground for AI researchers. In one attempt, computer scientists used AI to analyze the manuscript, proposing it was written in Hebrew and encoded with a complex system of anagrams. While this theory has been met with skepticism, it shows AI's ability to generate novel hypotheses. Other AI analyses have focused on the text's statistical properties. These studies have shown that the manuscript exhibits many structural features of a natural language, like word frequency patterns that follow a principle known as Zipf's law. This suggests it isn't simply gibberish. The mystery is far from solved, but AI is providing a new set of tools for probing its secrets. So, does the rise of the end of the human expert? Far from it. This is the beginning of a new era of collaboration, a powerful symbiosis between human intuition and machine intelligence. Think of AI as a tireless research assistant. The Ithaca project, a collaboration between Google's DeepMind and the University of Oxford, is a perfect example. Ithaca is a neural network that can restore the missing text of damaged ancient Greek inscriptions, identify their original location, and date them with remarkable accuracy. This is a game changer for historians, but it's not a replacement for them. It's a tool. For all its computational power, AI still lacks true human intelligence. It can't understand cultural context, irony, or the complex social factors that shape a language. An AI might identify a pattern, but it's the human expert who can explain what that pattern means. The relationship is a feedback loop. Human expertise guides the AI, and the AI's analysis provides new insights for the human expert. Of course, this new technology comes with ethical challenges. AI models are only as good as the data they are trained on. If that data reflects the biases of the past, for example, if it's overwhelmingly from texts written by elite men or from a Eurocentric perspective, the AI will perpetuate and even amplify those biases. We could end up with a distorted picture of the past. There's also the danger of misinterpretation. I might find a correlation that is statistically significant but historically meaningless. It's up to the human expert to critically evaluate the AI's findings. The integration of AI into the study of ancient languages is fundamentally reshaping our understanding of human history. As these models become more powerful, we are moving closer to a future where no language remains truly lost. The successful decipherment of a single script can have a cascading effect. Imagine if we could read the Indus script. We might uncover a rich literary tradition, a detailed history, or scientific knowledge far ahead of its time. Even for languages we already know, AI can identify subtle patterns and variations that lead to a more refined understanding and more accurate translations. We are living in a remarkable moment. The fusion of ancient languages and artificial intelligence is opening new frontiers, promising to give voice to civilizations that have long been silent. This isn't just about deciphering words, it's about recovering entire worlds. It is about adding new chapters to the human story, chapters written in scripts we are only now beginning to read. The journey is far from over, but for the first time, we have a tool powerful enough to match the scale of our ambition. The silent languages are beginning to speak, and the stories they have to tell will change everything.